The checking account is definitely the most used bank account. Everyone who has a bank account has one, and it's probably the one that your income's deposited into and then your bills are paid out of. It's also usually the first bank account that we get, so there's a high probability that either your parents opened it up either for you or with you and they just use the same bank that they use, or when you were opening one up for yourself, you didn't do a ton of research because it's just a simple account, right? But there actually are some things that you should consider when opening up a checking account, and the biggest consideration are the fees that you'll have to pay. Now, I first learned about this actually with my student checking account. Back up until I graduated university, I just had a student checking account, and at the time it had no fee. But as soon as I graduated, all of a sudden it turned into an account that did have a fee. Specifically, I would have to pay, if I didn't keep the minimum monthly balance of $4,000 that the bank set, I would have to pay $395 a month or $47.40 a year. And I think fees have gone up even higher than that now for a lot of checking accounts. Now, there actually are a lot of accounts out there that have low or no fees, even if you aren't a student, so that's what we're gonna be covering today so that you know your options. Also, we're gonna be covering specifically Canadian checking accounts, so keep that in mind.
Okay, so we're gonna go over a bunch of different checking account options, but first, let's talk about the ones that we personally use and recommend. And then after that, we'll actually get into some of the other great no-fee options that are out there. And then after that, we'll compare all of those options to the big 5 banks and see what their current fees and offers look like right now. Okay, so the first account that we have is a Simply Financial no-fee checking account. So you guys might have seen me mention this one on the channel before, but this is the account that I actually use on the regular, and it's the one that I recommend pretty much everyone use for their checking account needs. So quick facts about them: it's a no-fee checking account, no monthly minimum balance, no monthly or minimum balance is needed for the account. And because they're backed/owned by CIBC, you have access to all of CIBC's ATMs nationwide. So you don't have to worry about like not being able to get cash or not being able to like talk to someone. They are an online bank, so you do have to talk to someone either through like their app, email, or you can hit them up over the phone. But solid account. Now, right now, they do have a special promotion going on where you can earn $400 if you open a no-fee checking account by February 29th, 2024. And if you add an eligible direct deposit of at least $100 a month for 3 straight months, you basically guarantee that $400. Now, we are gonna have links in the description box below that you can click if you want to sign up. Now, the next one is the EQ Bank Savings Plus account. Now, this one's obviously one that you guys have seen us talk about on the channel and one that both me and Steph use on the regular. Now, this one's really cool because it's actually a hybrid account, so it's both a checking and a savings account. And I'll get into why that's cool in a second. But first of all, when it comes to the account, once again, it's a no-fee account. They have free and unlimited e-transfers, bill payments, no minimum balance requirements or monthly fees, and there's no separate accounts for checking and saving. Now, the reason that that's cool and the reason that we're going back to the whole hybrid thing is because the fact that you can use it either as a checking or a savings account allows them to offer you this high interest regardless of what you're using it for. So right now you can earn up to, 3% in interest, which is a really solid number. And yeah, you can use it as a checking account, which is cool. And once again, we'll have the link down in the description box below if you want to check it out. So the next account is the Wealthsimple Cash account. Now, this one's a really interesting account similar to the EQ Bank account because it is also a hybrid account. So once again, what that means is that it can be used as both either a checking account or a savings account. Now, before we get into the actual like benefits and the interest rate around it, the account itself is a no-fee account. There's no monthly fees, no minimum balances. You can send unlimited e-transfers. There are daily and weekly limits. I think the amounts are pretty high for like the regular person, so you don't really need to worry about that. But it is one of those accounts that they do market as having all the like good things and all the must-haves of a checking account, but also having the payoffs of a high-interest savings account because their interest rate is relatively high. Now, speaking of their interest rate is at 4%. That is how much you're gonna earn on your money, and that is the highest rate in Canada, which is really awesome. So yeah, solid account. Link in the description box below. Now, the last account that we use ourselves is the Neo Money account. Now, this one's also an interesting one because it's a hybrid account, so it's both a checking and a savings account. Now, when it comes to the account itself, it's similar to the other ones with no fees, no minimum balance. You can withdraw your money at any time. When it comes to the interest rate, though, that one's interesting because it looks like for new customers, they're offering 4% right now. As a current customer, Steph is earning 2.25%, which I think is interesting to kind of see that gap. But yeah, another really great account that we love to use. It's also connected to Steph's Neo Money credit card. I think that's what they call it, Neo credit card. Solid account, link in the description box below. I think overall, if I were to wrap it up, I think the one that I really love, once again, is the Simply Financial no fee checking account. And I think that's the one that, if I was looking for a checking account today, that's the one that I would honestly go with. I've had it for 8 years, and once again, they haven't done me wrong.
Okay, so now I'm going to cover a few other no fee options that we found, which is great because they have no fee. They're all pretty similar in terms of what they do offer and their benefits. They also have less promotions and bonuses going on from what we found, but I'm going to go through a little list here. So the first one is the Tangerine no fee daily checking account. Tangerine is owned by Scotiabank, so I'll talk about that in a second, but they're associated. Again, like it says in the title for this one, there's no fee, which is awesome. That's the first check mark. They also have unlimited debit purchases, e-transfers, transactions in general, so no fee and everything's unlimited. And on top of that, because they're attached to and owned by Scotiabank, you can use any of the Scotiabank ATMs. So again, just to mention that too, Tangerine is an online bank. There's no physical presence, but because they're owned by Scotiabank, you kind of can go into any you can go into any Scotiabank branch and use their ATMs as well. So you get that benefit with Tangerine. They do have a small bonus going on right now. You can get $100 if you open up a checking account and a savings account. It's like a bundle deal within 30 days of signing up and becoming a client. And I think there's some other criteria as well. If you set up automatic transfers and stuff like that, they might give you a little bit more of a bonus too, but that's what's happening right now. Their checking account also actually does pay a little bit of interest for the money sitting there, but not great at all. It's very low rates. I'd say it's comparable to the traditional savings accounts at the bigger banks. The next one is Alternabank. Alternabank is also a no-fee e-checking account. It's also online. You heard it with the e-checking account specifically. Again, no fee and no minimum balance required, which is awesome. Check marks again for what we're looking for here. Free unlimited transactions, free e-transfers. And this one, along with the next few banks that I'm going to mention, they're all similar. So they're not owned by one of the big physical banks. They're all online, but they've signed up for this network where you can access over 3,000 ATMs in Canada with no fee. I think you look up on their website what the list actually is, but that's nice to know too. So you can still use an ATM if you want to. And they also have no bonus going on and very, very low interest rates, 0.05%. But that's there, I guess it's something to have. And the best thing is the no fee part. Next up is the Laurentian Bank digital checking account. Again, digital checking account. This is an online bank again, very similar to the last one. No fee, no monthly minimum balance, great, free unlimited e-transfers. And again, the exact same ATM network where you can access over 3,000 as well in Canada. They have no bonus and no interest rate at all going on. So it's just a plain, simple, no fee checking account, which is a good option still. Next up is the Motive Chequing checking account. Again, another online bank here, no fee, same situation basically. No fee, no monthly minimum balance, free e-transfers, unlimited transactions. You can use that ATM network again with no fee. They also give you personalized checks as well. This one looks like 50 included, which is great if you actually are using checks and that incentivizes you at all. And again, no bonus going on right now. They offer 0.25% interest, a little higher than the other ones, I guess, but still not the reason that you would be incentivized for this, in our opinion. It's more the no fee side of things. A very similar Modus Bank checking account, also mostly online. That's no fee, no monthly minimum balance required, free unlimited e-transfers, unlimited debit purchases and transactions, the same as the last few in a row. I believe you also, it doesn't even mention it here, but I believe you can use the ATMs as well. We'll put it on the screen if that's wrong. And they also give you 25 checks for free. You earn 0.15% interest, which again, just mentioning this so that you know the facts of the account, but the biggest thing would be the no fee side of things. So that's it for all the no fee checking account options. It's actually good because there's a lot of them that we just ran through. The last thing I want to touch on really quick before Dennis gets into talking about the big 5 banks in Canada and what they're offering and their higher fees, I want to touch quickly on National Bank because they came up in our research for this a lot. They do not have any no fee checking account options. They do have a fee. They have 4 different checking accounts, very similar structure to the bigger banks. They have the minimalist, modest, connected, and some all-inclusive package. The lowest that they offer is $3.95 monthly account fee. You pay that no matter what. There's no option not to. It doesn't go higher either, and you only get 12 transactions per month. They also have no bonus, no interest or anything. And then from there, the checking accounts go up to $10.95 a month, $15.95 a month, and $28.95 a month. So I think this shows an example of It shows an example of how high the opposite of no fee accounts can really get up to, but we wanted to mention that because I think it showed up a lot in my research. So I feel like it would be the same for you looking up checking accounts. I want you to know that there are cheaper options in this one.
Okay, so now last up, let's take a look at the big 5 banks. Now, these 5 banks are literally the largest in Canada and have the largest portion of customers. Basically, they've been around for like a really, really long time. And because of this, they don't have to offer the best rates or the best options or really the best anything for their customers. And when it comes to money products like bank accounts, a lot of people typically go with one bank and then they stay with that same bank or product for like a really, really long time. So once again, because of that, these really rich banks, they don't have to offer those competitive rates or those competitive options for any of these customers because they have so many of these legacy customers that are just there and aren't leaving. That's why you'll see that they all have checking accounts with fees, and the only time that they'll offer no fee checking accounts is if you're willing to keep a minimum balance. So you actually being willing to keep a certain amount of money within that account. Now, without further ado, let's actually get into their let's look at their fees and their current promotions. And to remind you once again, the big 5 banks are TD, RBC, BMO, CIBC, and Scotiabank. Okay, so if we actually take a look at these accounts, what you're gonna notice, and I'll give kind of like a general statement, what you'll see from all the big 5 banks is that they all have different tiers of accounts that have a different type of fee, and usually the fee goes up as they offer different things, right? So if we take a look at TD, for example, they have a minimum account that costs $395, and then they have a next tier that's $1095, and then finally like their highest tier is $1695. Now what you'll notice is that usually the lowest tier is the one that comes with limited amount of transactions, usually 12 transactions. I don't know why it's 12, but that seems to be like a common theme amongst the big 5 banks. But yeah, $395, you get 12 transactions. If you want their like highest tier, which is the $1695 one, you don't have to pay the fee if you keep a minimum of $4,000 in that account. If we take a look at their promotions, right now TD actually does have a big promotion. You can get $600 if you open up their TD unlimited checking account. So that's their highest one that costs $1695 a month. I feel like at the end of the day, you're probably gonna make that back for them in fees. So not really the best, but let's move on to RBC. If we take a look at RBC, similar to TD, they also have like their low tier, mid tier, and higher tier option. For them right now, they don't even have any promotions going on, which, kind of sucks. So on to the next. CIBC. So CIBC is a little bit different in the sense that they only have 2 tiers. So they have a $16.95 monthly account and a $29.95 monthly account. Now, I think with both, if you keep a minimum balance of either $4,000 for the lower one and it's $6,000 for the higher one, you won't have to pay the fee. But once again, sucks that you have to keep that amount of money within that account. Now, you could get $350 if you set up ongoing monthly direct deposits, and I'm not going to go through the big list. We'll have that somewhere on the screen. But yeah, they do have a promotion right now. You could get $350 by signing up. On to the next one, Scotiabank. Scotiabank also has 2 specific accounts. So they have one for $395 and one for $1195. Similar story with the whole minimum balance thing. I don't think they have a promotional offer right now, but yeah, same story. Let's move on to BMO. So BMO is interesting because this is the one that we actually use for our business banking. Now, we love them from the business banking side of things, but it's kind of the same story with them and when it comes to the personal checking account. So they actually have 4 tiers, it seems. They have one for $4, $11.95, $30, and another one for $16.95. Now, that's interesting. A $30 a month account. So that apparently, if you keep at least $6,000 in that account, you won't have to pay that monthly fee. But yeah, they also have a promotion going on right now. You can earn $350 if you sign up for, I think, a specific account before the end of February. We won't get into like what you need to do in order to actually get that $350. We'll throw it up on the screen. But yeah, similar to the other big 5 banks, then I can't say they're really offering you that much when it comes to the personal banking side of things. But yeah, this is what they got.
That's a wrap on all the different checking account options available in Canada right now. And again, if you want to check out any of the ones that we use and recommend, we'll have them linked, and all the different bonuses that you can get in the description box below. Make sure you check out any of our previous videos that you haven't seen next door, and we'll be back next week with a new video.